Right here is 2.4, number 4. Again, multi-view drawing. So we need to start with our front. Looking at our front in this direction, we need to count our overall height and our overall length. Length is easier to count on the back here. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for our width. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 for our height. So we start with 8 tall and 9 across. So again, remember these are starting with construction lines, since we're not 100% sure that our front fills this entire box. So we have 8 tall, 9 across. So we check from our front view, we see this left-hand column, we see all the way across the top, all the way across down to the bottom, and across here. So we do actually want to keep all of these lines as our object lines. So we're going to darken all these up. Again, make these our object lines. They're thicker and darker lines, just like this. All right, once we have these lines, then we're going to show the 2 across here by measuring 2 from here. Then we show this L shape. It's 2 across from the right and 2 from the top. So it's 1, 2 from the right, all the way up to 2 from the top. And these are all dark because these are our object lines. So just like this. If we notice, we don't see the triangle from this side. When you're looking from the front, it just looks like another rectangle, not a triangle. For our top, we need to make sure it's in line. So we bring our construction lines up. Again, no specific distance. Could be 1 block, could be more, usually about 4 or 5. So we know for our top, looking down this way, it's still 9, but then for our depth, it's going to be 6. So we're going to have our 9 across, and then our 6 for our depth. So these are construction lines again, nice and light. So now we need to see what our object is from this side. So we see this L shape. So it's like the top edge of our top and the left side of our top are going to be object lines, and it's 2 across for both. So we're going to darken this line up here and this along here, and then we need to give it some distance, some depth. So across 2, up until this is too thick, and then all the way across to the edge of our top box. Alright, so now we have this L shape, but we still need to show this triangle. But the triangle's not just all the way from corner to corner here, it goes up to 2 across here. If we didn't have measurements though, we could actually take our front view, bring a construction line up to tell where we wanted to connect our diagonal. So now we connect our line, nice and dark, and this is our top view. Notice we did not darken these 2 since these are not part of our object. So now we just need our right hand side, so looking at it this direction. So we're going to bring our lines across, construction lines from our front. All right, we know it's the same height. Looking at it this way, it's still 8 tall, and it's still 6 in our depth. So we're going to have 8 tall and 6 for depth. When we check, we see that this is the entire height. It goes across. This winds up the entire width. So we are actually going to use all edges of our box. So let's darken these as object lines. Right, now we need to represent this column here and this little box here. So so remember there's a couple different things we can do. Usually we'll measure it out, but one of the things we need to start practicing is using a corner up here to show our depth and be able to transfer things from our top to our side. So we're going to draw construction lines up from the sides of our right-hand view and across from our top view. Okay, since our depth is what matches these together, they should be the same. So this is 6 across, and this is also 6 across. So we can go corner to corner, 45-degree angle, so that now, if we had any information that we wanted to transfer from our top to our side, we can bring it across to our diagonal line, turn it 90 degrees down, and then it will transfer that same measurement over to your right-hand side. Okay, in this case, we did have a number that we could have used. We could count 2 across, but a lot of the later ones that we do, this will be very helpful. Okay, so again, we just made sure this is the same, this is the same. We drew our 45 all the way across, and then once we have this, we can bring any of our lines across to this diagonal, bring it down once it hits that diagonal, and be able to add it to our right-hand view. All right, last line we need to show this edge right here, which we can bring across from our front. So again, we can use the things we've already measured. We do not have to redo it. And then this will be our finished activity 2.4, number 4.